What is the movie? Can you say who you played?
Yeah, that was Fast and Furious, and I play some Ferocian, Ferocian guy, tough as hell. Oh, it was fun.
Did you like it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it was just a such a great experience with good people out there trying to make it. I mean, trying to make everything possible because I never act, and when they ask you to act, to do something, and you have to act, and they were very patient, like to taking me through the process and all the be all around assisting me, and we had fun. It was so great to to discover the magic of the movie, how big he is, behind the scene. It was so great.
It's a long day, isn't it? When you're filming, it looks like it's so fast, but it's the same thing over and over. It's a long day on a shoot.
Yeah, I mean, like for one scene, you stay on one scene the whole, like 3 days,
Yeah.
over and over and over and over. But it's fun. It's fun.
Were you scared when you first started?
No, because for me, I was just living the dream. I was just enjoying. I mean, um, obviously, I had to act, but I was also there as a fan who gonna enjoy himself, So at this point, have to play in the Fast and Furious. It was just something unexpected, some dream, and yeah. So I decided to don't let the stress take over, and then let the fun take over.
Did you have to audition?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
auditioned. Yeah, I did my self tape because I was in France when they auditioned me. I did the self tape. I sent it to them. I mean, during the audition and all those things, you kind of like walk through the process a little bit, like learn how to act, to put yourself in action.
When you put yourself on tape, I think that's the best way to do it because you can redo it over and over until you get the one that you like, and you can send that one in.
Yes, but sometimes, I mean, when you don't have somebody around, which is like who doesn't explain you exactly what to do, sometimes you might send the wrong one.
Oh
You
no.
the right one and keep it because you don't know exactly how to pick this thing. So it's kind of tricky a little bit, but yeah.
Is anybody talking? Because I know it must be frustrating for you because Stipe and Cormier are talking about possibly fighting a third time. What do you think that? Where does that put you at this point? What is it that you've been thinking about? Will you take another fight, or will you be patient and wait?
That exactly the question that we asked the UFC. I'm like, okay, where is my position? Because at this point, Stipe and DC is not going to fight until next year.
Yeah.
Maybe I think it's March, and then so I'm gonna expect that to wait that fight, which will be like 9 months from my last fight, and then expect that somebody, the winner, didn't doesn't hurt or has to go recovery again for a certain period of time before expect to fight him back. If and only if the UFC doesn't decide to put him against somebody else, because I don't have the guarantee of that, you know. So the thing is like staying there, waiting. I can stay here one more year easier, and yeah. So it ends up to be like how the USA want it. They just want me to fight. They don't want me for the title shot, and because I cannot stay here like stay out for 15 more months
Right.
expecting to have a title shot. I have my family, I have myself to take care of,
Right.
and I think they are using that leverage.
But then again, now you have movies, so you can tell them, look, I don't need this crap. I'll just go off and do movies. Put you in a better position.
Yes, but you don't quit like that. You don't quit like that. You just
Yeah.
don't wake up someday and say, "Ah, I'll have movie. I just go." No.
And you don't want to get yourself too much ring rust either. You want to keep yourself hungry by having a fight or something to work towards, right?
Yes, exactly. And also, this what I do. This, I mean, I love this, and I really want that goal.
Well, if you look at division, if we say, okay, in order to fight within the next 3 to 6 months, it's not going to be Stipe and DC. Is there anybody that you say, all right, well, this makes sense?
Okay, so the problem is like actually exactly right now in the UFC roster, in the heavyweight roster, all the top 10 are booked for
Right.
fight. All of them. I mean, except this guy, Shamil, who just lost again Curtis Blade. But otherwise, the rest of the guy are booked.
Right.
And I mean, yeah, kind of. So if I would have to fight earlier, maybe he'll be like top 15, or he'll be like next year.
Right. And you don't want to fight somebody you're helping out their career as opposed to them helping yours if they're lower ranked than the top 5.
Yes, and that doesn't hurt me at all. If I fight those guys, I think it will just be money wise. But
Yeah.
otherwise, they won't bring me nothing.
Right.
I don't have no interest fighting them when I'm while I'm right here waiting for the title.
So yeah, there's not a lot of options for you unless you want to go out of the top 10, which that's right. That's not a big advantage for you to do is to fight someone else. I think people want to see you fight for the title.
Yeah, and yes, that's the situation that I am in now, and the UFC led me in this situation. You know, I don't feel like they're really doing. They're really excited to make something happen to me. They're just sitting there and wait if they have some sort of need, and then they take me. But
I think either
I don't
fight is
feel.
interesting. Either fight's interesting because you went the distance with Stipe. I mean, it was a 5-round fight, and you've never fought Cormier. I think people would be very interested to see that fight if that happened.
Yeah. What would you rather?
I would rather fight Stipe because, first of all, because he's the champ, he's the one that holding the belt, and also just to have my rematch. So it will be like one stone, two birds.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And when you look at the matchup for the third time with DC and Stipe, do you have any predictions for that fight? Knowing the way Stipe fights, what do you think would happen in that third fight?
Knowing the way Stipe fight, and you have to also see the know the way that DC fight. So then you figure out that everything can happen. You know, yes, everything can happen again. But I just think it sucks, like to just be there to hold up a heavyweight belt. Like it's been like over 2 years that it's just between three people. I mean, yes, obviously Derek fought for the title, but they keep going back and forward, even where we can. Like before, I wasn't in the position, but now I'm in the position. They could have made this fight and make the rematch after or whenever. I don't know.
And who knows if that will even happen? People are still speculating about what Cormier. I mean, for a while, Brock. People were saying, "What about Brock? Brock might fight again," and people thought DC would fight him. And now that he's out of the picture and he's not coming, it looks like he's not coming back in. Now it is just those two guys. If Brock Lesnar was possibly coming back, that would add another person
Right.
into the mix.